Hello and welcome to the weekly round table. I haven't done this in a while where I get on the live stream and I just put some things on sale. But do you see that big hay wagon behind me? This is a farm, and so it's that time of year when Avalon Springs Farm has to go buy hay. So I'm going to put some stuff on sale. All right. I collected these little yarn duos and trios this morning, and I thought I would just unbag them for you. That hay wagon is bringing in a few little flies, so if you see one, I will not let them land on your yarn. I think I'm going to do, should I do the trios first?
Sure.
Okay, let me do the trios first. That's Jenny, who's operating the camera. So these are, so this one is called we have some wind with us today. This one is called Beach Escape, and it's on my website. If you go into my shop and you go down to on sale, there I added like 12 things today, and this little grouping is called, it's the regular Pendragon yarn, and I just took 3 colors. I felt like that was really, it's like right there, and it keeps recurring through this skein. So it had a little bit of a sandy dune color that has some speckles, a really highly speckled, and pretty much a solid with a few little tiny blue specks you'll see throughout the skein. So these like really went together to me. This one is called Beach Escape. Normally this would be, each one would be $27, so I think it's like $81, and it's a $20 a skein grouping, so this is now $60. So that's a pretty good savings. This one is called, my daughter's name this one, Bumblebees in the Breeze. You know, sometimes we're brave with yellow and sometimes we're not, but I was like, this is the same yellow dye in all of these different kinds of dye techniques, a solid, and this is kind of like a repeating colorway, and then a really intensely speckled one, and I thought they went together well. And because, you know, it had the gold and the sort of neutral but taupey goldy color and the yellow, I thought they went together. And Robin and Jenny thought, yeah, Mom, that's bumblebees. Okay, so again, the reason that I did these 2 first before the rest is that these are trios, so they would be 81 regularly, but now they're 60. And these are duos. And I guess the reason for the duos is because, duos and trios, is because the most common way that people work with these are, you know, like in shawls, and shawl patterns call for integrating and maybe 2 different kinds of dye work and integrating colors. So this one is called, this colorway, little curated colorway. It's not the colors of the 2 individual skeins. We made up names to identify each of the groupings. This is called Grapes and Gals for some obvious reasons. And, you know, kind of like the winey colors that were in here, but it's got some pizzazz and that really intense sort of fuchsia magenta. Fuchsia meets magenta. As a matter of fact, it might have both those dyes in there. And I really like the way they went together. This is right there, and it's all over this. So that was kind of cool. Okay, the next one. Oh, I gotta say, you guys, all these little colorway names might be things, well, maybe not so much Bumblebees in the Breeze, but most of them, all of them, the way we name them, since this is our annual summer sale, where would people who knit and work with fiber, where would they go to get out of the heat in the summer? So this one was called Smithsonian Stitches. Try and say that 5 times fast. Jenny is laughing off camera because we really had a hard time. And then naming this one. Oh my gosh, we did. You know, like one daughter, you know, kind of focused in on these sort of peachy, almost salmony, pale colors that start from this root color and just fade all the way down to, you know, almost nothing. And that's why these two go together. But this color, the dark color that appears kind of as the darkest, and this super dark is one shade darker than that. But this is like the color of the great Smithsonian castle, if you're a Washingtonian. So that's why we named that one. It finally occurred to us, where had we seen this color before?
And I gotta tell you, it's a little, on camera, it's a little more orange than it is in person. It's a little less orange, leaning towards more salmony pink in person. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad you say those kind of things, Jenny. Now, the audience needs that. And this one was called Summer Spindle. It is a little bit like this pink that was previously shown. This is a little bit like the other pink, but this one is not as, this one is almost a semi-solid. It's just a little bit of variation in intensity of dye, whereas this one actually has some of the little purpley violet, like this is a little bit of a violet color, or what would you call that? Lilac, perhaps. That appears in this semi-solid, as opposed to this just being one color. So, and this one was called Summer Spindle. We just thought of a very feminine image of a person on their, you know, spinning wheel or their spindle. I don't know. Maybe we hit the mark, maybe we didn't, but we really like these colors together. Okay, next. It's fun unbagging them, you guys. Even though I made them, taking them out of the little bags, we have to put them in the bags. We put them in the bags to ship them to you, but also, and to protect them, but also how would we keep them straight if we didn't? These are all one of a kind. So I might, and that's a good point to make, is that I might have some of these colors on the website if you wanted to go, you know, kind of browsing through the Pendragon fingering. But many of them are from dye lots that I did in person during the period in which we've all been not going to shows. So, and I've just been doing little local backyard booth things. So some of these have never before hit the internet, and others might be on my website. Okay, so this one was called Shut Eye in the Shade. This particular skein was named after that famous painting. Oh, for goodness sakes! Now I'm not going to be able to say on camera. Of the
Da Vinci.
No.
Oh, dang it.
That kind of thing. Oh, well, live camera. It'll come to me as minute I'm not on camera, but I'm just going to go with it. Anyway, the sunflower painting. And then this, probably one of my customers might know. If you know, text it in. And I was an art teacher, so I'm really drawing a blank on camera. Gosh. So anyway, the green that appears in here, for a long time I was trying to think, what yarn do I couple this with? Do I couple it with one of these brassy or dark brown colors, or do I go with one of the greens from the painting? And they fall into each other, you know, and along came the myrrh tree, which is this newer color, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is it, it's in there. So even though this is an unusual color to work with in a pair, I like suddenly found a duo that I really like. So I mean, people have gone dark, you know, done this with like chestnut brown, but then there's a lot of contrast, and this was a pairing that did not have quite so much contrast, even because this is a very active colorway with all of its speckles. it's a speckled colorway, not a, not like this, where the colors, as they keep coming round and round and round on the ball. Okay, and our next one, oh, this was another challenging color to pair, but I finally hit the one that I really liked it with. So I sold a lot of this particular colorway when I first started making it. It's called In the Library, and some of them were reskeined and some of them were shown prior to reskeining. So this is the last one that I have that's reskeined. So that basically means what I'm talking about there is that prior to reskeining it would look more like this. And then I reskeined it and the color's all scattered. So it does, oh, whoops, look at me, I'm then, so maybe I should just take it out. So it does repeat in some sense. The little changing, the way that it flows from one color to another is really soft. And there is some speckling in it, if you can see that on camera, where it's just little dabbled with color intensity. So that you should understand. The funny thing is that, you know, everyone knitted a solid thing from a couple skeins of this. Oh, you guys, I have my wedding ring on my wrong finger because I got a little bit of poison ivy. So if that is coming up in this video, I'm like, no, I'm still married and love my husband. I just have poison ivy medicine on my ring finger. Okay, so I keep catching it with my own eye. So finally, this shade, this is a color called, it's almost a semi-solid. It's called Journey to Calm, and it's more than one shade of blue. It's like blue and gray together, but the blue is not, it's an aqua-ish blue, not purely, but a little bit. And it's in here, it's the blue that's in the library, along with a little bit of the gray. So finally there was something that picked up on the gray, but wasn't in the gold category, that worked with this particular skein. So I was sort of happy with that. I just want it to be different. Sometimes when I do this, I want to do two things. I want to create pairings that I feel safe and secure about sending to somebody that would work in a shawl together, because you guys are not in person. But then the other thing that I want to do is craft combinations that my customers don't always think of. Some, like that, I think people would think of, or this I think people would think of. But some of these on the table here, I think, oh, you know, nobody, I can't believe how long I carried these two and people weren't putting them together. And this die is in this skein. And I was like, oh my gosh, nobody saw that. So I just had to try it. Anyway, and this one was complete serendipity. So I'll reskein that after I get off camera. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. These are my colors. Oh my gosh. You can tell because of, like, my logo is this color. Anyway, or it's part of it. I love these two. This one is a new colorway called Beltane. And maybe it's too jazzy, but I don't know. I like it. And it varies in both intensity of color, and then also it repeats as you go around. Like this green will come back again, or this purple will come back again. And I paired it with just a semi-solid in a very pale lilac color. Even within my own family, people say, is this pink or is this purple? Just for the record, I see it as purple. I see it as people call it pink because it's pale and it's got red in it. But if it's pale and it leans cool, I would call it a light purple. If it's pale and it leans more towards the reds, I would call it a pink. So I think people can see this, you see it however you want to see it. It's okay if you see that as pink or you see it as purple. For the purposes of our conversation, some people would call a lilac flower pink, but I call a lilac flower a very pale purple. But that's what's in here, both pinks and some purple and some green and some salmon. So these two went together to me. I am such a person who, because I work with color all the time, it's very specific to me. But I used to be an art teacher, and one thing I would say to all of my students through all the years of teaching is that, you know, it doesn't make you colorblind that you might use a different word to identify a color that somebody else would use a different word for. You might see it a little differently, or you might have a name association with that color that's a little different. That is so personal. But anyway, so the connection is more important than the name. But anyway, what did we call this name, this pair? Fruity Frozen Drinks. Oh yeah, because there was like some, what would you call these? Like frozen raspberry parfait or something like that. Yes, we have this black raspberry ice cream all the time, and I sort of think that looks like you took a big scoop of black raspberry ice cream and you put it in your drink. Anyway, I don't know. Okay, so next, I've got 4 more to go, you guys. I can't believe I should pick it up. This one was called, this duo is called Weaving by the Windmill. We wanted to do something calm, and that was the name that we came up with. Very soft colors in this. This is a relaxing duo. If you're looking for low-stress colors, very relaxing colors, I like these together. It does have a little bit of red, but this shade of green is in this sort of speckly, dotted with colored one. It has some tiny specks, but it also, some of these are like little just dabs of colors that last not very long at all, a couple stitches, and then it changes to another color. So this one is called Weaving by the Windmill. Let's get another, let's get a blue. Okay, yes, cool. Okay, I haven't put a blue out in a while, and certainly this is the brightest blue on the table. This one is called a dip. While we're on camera, if you guys heard that, our apologies. I wonder if they did.
I don't know. It was one of those like scam likely calls. Spooky.
So anyway, they were big interruption. Okay, so a dip in the lake for obvious reasons. This is a really bright blue, vivid blue, but it's a medium level blue. And this one's got lots of different shades of blue in it, including a little bit of green, including a little bit of violet, so a little bit of indigo. You know, this is a happy colorway. This is a happy combo. For a cool shade combo, it's a very vivid, active, cool shade combo. And again, this is like a little dappling of color, and this is a semi-solid. I think they would go nice together. And then how about one more pink? This is a pink combo. Again, I had 3 pink combos up here today, all a little bit different from each other. All different shades of pink, all different kinds of speckling. This speckling has a lot of purpose left white, and a very cool but vivid pink. This one, the two colorways are called Open for Elijah, and what was this one called? This one was called Poetry in Pink. But we called it Crochet in the Gazebo. But, you know, for obvious reasons, this is totally the gazebo. Okay. Anyway, you know, with the little flowers in your gazebo, some maybe a little ivy going up the side with little pink flowers. Yes. Oh my gosh, maybe I should rename it. Well, I don't have to because it's a duo. So this one is Crochet in the Gazebo, speckled, semi-solid. Okay, and one more for all those people who love blue. Oh, the name is not far from the other name. This one is called A Splash in the Sea. So, and these are definitely more sort of ethereal blues, aren't they? This is very watery, and this is a very dark blue, and this one has, you know, actually the where it is lightest. I have trouble photographing this because where it is lightest is not white. It's still blue, but it comes on the camera almost as white. That's light blue right there. And for the same thing, that is not black. That's just dark blue. So you guys should know that. But they really connect. Like I really see a connection happening right there. So I like these two together. There's so many things you can do with blue. Blue is also a very relaxing color. If you're trying to escape the heat, maybe just knit with a very cool color. I don't know. Anyway, this is always fun for me to do this. I think I just like playing with the yarn sometimes. Well, Jenny, are there any last little comments? Did anybody ask a question? Is there anything you think I forgot to tell them? These are up on the web. If you go to the tab at the top that says, that's my store tab, it'll break out into a side menu that has all different kinds of yarns in it and different things for sale. And at the bottom of that says is a little tab for on sale. And that's where this little dozen combos are. And they are all one of a kind. I might be able to make more than one of a few of them, but probably maybe not. So do enjoy, email me any questions or text me or even Instagram me. Oh yeah, you know what? I also just recently started Tumblr, so you can even talk to me through Tumblr. Well, have a great week, and I will see you next Thursday at noon with more sale things.